Model Builder is a game that tells you a lot from its title, and no, this is not a Project Runway knockoff. This is in fact a model building simulator, like model trains and boats and cars. The story is, yes, there is a story. You receive a letter from your recently deceased grandfather who is giving you his model workshop where he worked for many decades, lovingly working and painting models, and encourages you to carry on the family tradition. The game offers you two modes and encourages you very strongly to start with the career mode. But let me tell you about the Sandbox mode first, because this says everything that the game has to offer. You jump in, you have access to all of the base models, which is about 20 until you complete some and then start building up your inventory. These models range from complexity of about 4 pieces all the way up to 172 pieces. Now, to put these together, you unbox the model, you cut the edges, open the boxes, separate the pieces from their plastic frames, snap them together, color them according to the manual, sometimes sand them, polish them, finish them, and then either put them in your display case, or if it was a model for a special commission, then you can sell it to make more money, to buy tools, and to buy more models. But the career mode really is where you should start because it is basically a tutorial and it has more story elements built into the process of building up your skill with the models. So obviously you start with one model at a time and the game will teach you how to follow the instructions, which is very important, especially in the tutorial, because you won't be able to proceed unless you complete what the tutorial wants you to learn. Now, the great thing about the instruction manual in this game is that you can open the pages, click on a piece or a color of paint, and it will immediately select that for you so that you can use it while building the model. And while snapping the pieces together or carefully adding paint to a very small area, you can zoom in, rotate, twist, manipulate in very precise ways every individual piece and the model as a whole so you can get the color exactly where you want it to go. And this works even better if you can connect the game to a tablet with a stylus, because then you have much better control over how you are painting and there's more tactile satisfaction to it. At least, so I'm told. I wasn't able to test it myself. Now, once you learn the basics in career mode, then you will start getting messages on your computer, and these can be competitions where you have to complete a certain model and do it better than the other contestants, for which you win prizes, or commissions from people asking you to put together their models, apparently because they're too lazy to do it themselves. Completing these tasks will bring you money and XP. The money will allow you to buy more tools and more models, and the XP will allow you to level up and have access to better tasks. When you complete a model that you want to keep, then there's lots of display cases around for you to put them in, arrange it exactly how you want, and then stand back and admire your handiwork. There's also a photo mode where you can put the models against backdrops that fit their style and snap some pretty pictures. There's also a lot of DLC available to add more models to the game. A lot of it is based on video games. Frostpunk you can already buy. The Witcher and Cyberpunk is coming soon. And you can buy Into the Stars that includes a lot of real-life rocket ships and satellites and some fantasy spaceships as well. Alright, that tells you everything that this game or simulator has to offer. The only question left is, should you play it or build it, I guess? Well, first, you should know that whatever this is, it's going to be free from the Epic Games Store for 1 week starting September 28th, 2023. You'll have 1 week to add it to your library and install it whenever you want. And that is what we do on this channel. We play and review every free weekly game on the Epic Games Store, even before it comes out as free, so you will immediately know if it's worth your time. So this game is pretty well executed, and I think it has achieved exactly what it wants to achieve, which, by the way, I don't think is to encourage people to build less models, but in fact it's trying to get people who have never built a model or haven't done it for a long time back into the hobby and to find the joy of it. It seems clear that that's what they were going for, and if that's the goal, then everything that I would expect to be in the game is there. The controls over the model, the way to look at it, the way to manipulate it, to be able to access different parts of it with paint, This was all very user-friendly, and the instruction sheet also, being able to immediately click on a piece or a paint or something like this and immediately have it and be able to use it, meant the process was much more fluid than if you were putting together a real model. Indeed, even thinking of all the paint, all the setup, all the little pieces, things getting broken, things getting lost, this seems like a more practical and, let's say, neater and smoother way to experiment with making models than spending large amounts of money on a model that might be more frustrating than fun. So I think you know already if this game is for you, and in fact it doesn't hold any surprises. If you like models or the idea of putting together models, but for whatever reason you can't afford all the models you want, you don't have the space for it or the time for it, then this might be a really good release of that enjoyment, that hobby that you probably already have. Now, if you're wondering if this is more than meets the eye and might actually appeal to people who have very little interest in making models, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to convince anyone to like making models who never did before. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to appeal to a wide range of self-described gamers. For myself, I've never put together a model in real life. I've never been very interested in doing that. And in playing this game, it was not unpleasant. I got a little bit of enjoyment out of finishing a model, being able to put it in the display case, but it did not make me interested in putting together models. And especially in the career mode, I sometimes found it more frustrating than calming because I had to fulfill the very specific criteria of the career mode through the tutorial or the commissions. So sometimes on this channel we say that you should watch every review because sometimes there are games that don't look like your thing but actually have some secret appeal. This is not one of those times. I think what you see is what you get, and if the idea of a model building simulator really appealed to you and sounded interesting, then you're probably going to love this. For everyone else out there, I don't think this is going to be worth your gaming time. Now, a couple years ago we received a game that really reminds me of this one called PC Building Simulator, and you can check out the review up here. Our opinions were a bit split on that one, but if you like the idea of crafting things in your workshop, then this might be more your speed. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.